There are certain games with a certain set of rules and conditions that when met, you get access. You open the door to something that very few dare to even think about. These games are nothing but rituals, summonings that have survived over the years, space, and time, that have been changing together with the seasons. These rituals are doors, portals, that give access to wisdom, to different states of the consciousness, and even, unwished or not, to entities, and sometimes not the friendly ones. Welcome once more to our beautiful channel. I am D, and I invite you to join us today on this journey. We have all heard about ritual games. It's those games where you follow a specific set of actions and rules to summon an entity to play with. This is what we are all about. Today, we will be seeing those game rituals that people report are the most terrifying ones, and absolutely the ones that are reported to work the most. The Midnight Game is an old pagan ritual in which you summon or invite an entity to your house at midnight to play with you. The game consists of you inviting the entity known as the Midnight Man to follow you around your house in the dark, while the only very thing you have to move through the darkness is a small faint candle. To play the Midnight Game, you will need the following materials: a candle, matches or a lighter, a piece of paper with something to write on, some salt, your house door, and something like a needle. Why? You will need a drop of your own blood. Note that you must start performing the ritual at exactly midnight, or else the game will simply not work. You may start by writing your full name in the piece of paper. You may then, with the needle, pinch your finger to get a few drops of your blood and put them on that paper. Let the blood soak into it. You may then turn off all the lights in the house, then proceed to the front door, which must be wood, and place the paper with your name and blood in front of it. Then take the candle and light it up. Place the candle on top of the paper. Then knock on your door 22 times. Then open it. Blow out the candle and close it again. Congratulations, you have just allowed the Midnight Man into your house. Once you have done this, immediately light up the candle again, since this will be the only thing accompanying you until the very end of the game that you have just started. Now, this is where the game actually starts. You may now start lurking your completely dark house with the lit candle in your hand. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all cost until exactly 3:33 a.m. If your candle light ever goes out, you have 10 seconds to relight it. If you fail to relight your candle, you must immediately grab the salt and create a circle around you with it to protect yourself from the Midnight Man. If for whatever reason you fail to do these steps, the Midnight Man will then induce hallucinations of your biggest fears into you, which will last until the game ends at 3:33 a.m. You must continue lurking the house without being attacked by the entity, or staying trapped in the salt circle until the game ends. Some indicators that the Midnight Man is near you include a sudden drop in temperature in the area, or seeing a humanoid black silhouette within the range of the light of the candle, or even a very soft whispering coming out of nowhere. If you experience any of these signs, you must then leave the room or area where you are at, since that means that the Midnight Man is very close to you. Note that if you stay in one single spot throughout the entire game, will only result in the entity finding you immediately. The game ends at exactly 3:33, and when that time hits, the Midnight Man will leave, and you will be able to continue your night normally, safe from it. Don't ever use a flashlight instead of a candle. Don't ever turn on the lights of your house until the game ends, since the Midnight Man does not like it. And most important, you will not like what you will see if you do. Daruma-san, or the bath game, is a ritual in which you summon the ghost of a Japanese woman who tragically died in her bathroom. In order to play Daruma-san, you must follow a specific sequence of steps, and note that once you start the game, this entity will follow you for the next 24 hours. Before you go to bed, head to your bathroom, fill up the bathtub, and turn out all the lights of the house. Then take off your clothes and sit in the middle of the bathtub, facing the water faucet. Close your eyes and wash your hair. As you wash your hair, you must repeat the phrase, Daruma-san fell down, Daruma-san fell down, Daruma-san fell down. Do not stop repeating these words, not even if you are already feeling the entity near you, and your eyes must remain closed the entire time you do this. As you wash your hair, you will start visualizing a Japanese woman standing in the bathtub. She will slip and fall into a rusty tap, gouging her eye out, killing her. You will then hear a sound coming from behind you, or you will feel a movement in the bath. Do not turn around or peek, because once this is done, you have finally summoned Daruma-san. You will feel how her presence starts emerging from the bathtub, and when you do, ask out loud, Daruma-san, why did you fall in the bathtub? After you do this, you can now get out of the bathtub, and your eyes must remain shut. Make sure not to slip or trip as you get out of the bath, and don't drain the water until next morning. When you get out of the bathroom and close the door behind you, you can now open your eyes and walk to your room, go to bed, and when you wake up the next day, the game has begun. When you wake up the next day, everything will look normal until you start feeling the presence of Daruma-san behind you. And when you turn around to try to see her, she will simply not be there, or at least you won't be able to see her. If you feel her getting extremely close to you, you must shout the word Damare, which means stop, and must run away from the area that you are in. This will put distance between you and Daruma-san. You must end the game before midnight, because if you don't, you risk that the entity will get stuck, living with you, and keep tormenting you for the rest of your life until you find your ending. To do this, you must first catch a glimpse of her, and shout the word Kita, which means cut, and you must swing your arm in a chopping motion, signaling that you are cutting any type of bond that you may have formed with this entity. But note, there's always a small chance that this will not work and that you will be stuck to live with the ghost for life. Hitori Kakurembo, or also known as the hide and go seek alone game, is a famous game ritual in Korea and Japan, in where you let a spirit or demon possess a doll and then play a game of hide and seek with them. This ritual is highly considered necromancy and is highly recommended to not perform the ritual, not even out of curiosity, since it's highly dangerous and is also considered life-threatening. For those who may still seek to play it, this is what you will need and will have to follow. You will need a stuffed doll with limbs, not a human doll, since if you do, there is a high chance that the spirit you summon will not leave the doll. Rise. Enough of it to stuff the doll. It is said that this will attract the entity. Something from your body. It could be hair or some nails. This will create the bond between you and the entity. And whatever happens to the doll will happen to you as well. A sharp-edged object. This is to anger the spirit in the doll by stabbing it. It is highly recommended that you don't use a knife or scissor, since it's very likely that the doll will stab you with the same object that you stabbed it with. A red thread. This is to sew up the hole that you will open on the doll to stuff it. Red is for it to symbolize the red vessels of blood and act as a restraint later in the game. Salt or salt water. This is to cleanse the spirit from the doll once the game is over. A bathtub, or if you don't have one in your house, a container large enough to put the doll inside with water. This you can leave in the bathroom and will work as bathtub. A safe hiding spot. It could be a closet. It could even be your room if you have religious symbols like pictures or statues that you believe in. That will do the job. Now to begin the game, name your doll. It doesn't matter what. For this case as an example, let's say you'll name your doll Megan. You must cut open the doll, get all the stuffing out, and then use the rice and whatever part of you that you have chosen, like your hair or nails, and stuff the doll with it. Now, you will need the red thread. Sew up the doll with the new stuffing, and whatever is left from the thread, use it to wrap the doll. This is to symbolize that you are binding the spirit. Now, prepare your bathtub or large container. Fill it with water, and then wait until it's 3 a.m. Turn off all the lights of your house, and just leave the TV on. It will change as the doll changes locations. Once 3 a.m. hits, take the doll to the bathroom with you and say 3 times this phrase. As an example, let's use Luke as our name and say, "I, Luke, am first," and then walk away from the room. Do not look back. Trust me, it is dangerous to do so, and you will not like what you will see. Then count to 10 slowly. Once you reach 10, go back to the bathroom, close to the doll, and say the phrase with your doll's name. I found you, Megan. Once you say this, stab the doll. After that, close your eyes and say 3 times, "Now Megan is next." And leave the object you stabbed the doll with inside the doll. Then pour some salt water into your mouth and don't drink it. Bring with you the cup with salt water, since you will need it to end the ritual later. And go hide to your safe spot. It is recommended that you leave at least one of your doors and windows open and bring your phone in silent mode, so in case of emergency, your friends are able to help you when you need it. Keep the salt water in your mouth at all times and never attempt to swallow it, and remain silent when you are hiding, as any sound that you make may alert the spirit where you are, and the doll will stab you with the same object you stabbed it with, and then take possession of your body. To end the game, you must get out of your hiding spot, go find the doll, and note that it might not be where you left it at first. And once you find it, swallow the salt water. After that, you must pour the remaining salt water from the cup around the doll in a circle. Close your eyes and shout 3 times, "I win." Once you do this, the spirit of the doll will give up, and the portal you opened will close. After the game ends, you must bury the doll with salt. Otherwise, the spirit will try to possess the doll again, and it's also recommended to pour salt in the corners of the room where you found the doll, to avoid that any unwished entity enters your house, since you basically summoned a spirit that was not supposed to be in this plane anymore, and will try by any means to remain here, the same way you brought them here with this ritual. And this is exactly the reason why this game is considered a practice of necromancy.